Hi guys, this week ended the second week of December and it's been a good week of trading. The world of small caps been pretty flat over the last few months, so seeing my setups come back into play, I've identified them, I've traded them really well, and it's just given me confidence that I can trade certain setups well and I can make money in this market. I know I'm not trading with thousands of dollars yet, but hoping to be pushing a bit more size very soon. So going to go into a couple of the trades that I took this week, so let's go to the chart. So the first trade was for a first green day bounce, and this was on IRBT. I'll just go to the daily chart first of all. So it's had a big run and then it's kind of consolidated on day 2, and then it's had this third day surge upwards. And this stock was moving because of sector momentum in the robotics sector. So this was kind of the leader, I guess, in terms of what was moving in that sector. And you can see here it's had a nice red day, and I'm looking to play it for a bounce. Now, I'm not sure normally if I would have played this for a bounce on this day, because it's already had this third day surge. I would probably like a little bit more retracement, but because it was in a hot sector, that got my attention. So if we just go into the 5-minute chart over here, can see, so this is the run up on day 1, consolidated, ripped on day 3, and then pulled back on day 4. And if we just go into why this was of interest, is because first of all, it seems to be holding, it's dropped down to around $3 on this pullback day, which is kind of a key area, being a whole dollar mark. There is also support on day 1 at the $3 mark as well. And also obviously the sector momentum behind it. But then also if we go into the day before I played it, it's closed on that day at around 317, and then after hours it wants to hold above that day's close, and then pre-market it's also going above the previous day's close. So it's kind of turning green in terms of it's above where it closed the day before. So that can be a signal sometimes that if they turn green, then these stocks can bounce. So not just that alone, but coupled with the other things that I've said, it was worth a go. So I was watching this on market open. So if I just go to the 1-minute chart. So the day before, it's pushed off 3, it's then held well above that level, and now on market open I'm waiting to see if it can retest yesterday's low of day, because then I can risk off that area. The other area I could risk off is the previous day's close, which is like the red-green area, which is that 316 mark. So that's where it closed the previous day. So if it breaks above that, I could trade it there and then risk off the previous day's close. But I prefer to risk off here if possible. So when the market opened, could see that it was hovering around yesterday's low, which gave me really good entry, and I got in at 3.065, so somewhere right at the bottom, and I'm literally risking off yesterday's low of day. So if it breaks that, I'm out of the trade. So yeah, I can see it just had this lovely rip up. I'll zoom out a little bit. Really love it when that happens. We're very explosive. And then I was just waiting for my profit targets, really. So the key area for me was going to be this 380 level, just because if we look here, it's got support there. And then also the area for me actually was this $4 area. So reason being was this key area of support on its day 3, and then kind of acting as resistance just over here, and also being a whole dollar mark. I felt like it could push towards 4, so I was hoping to sell somewhere around there. I did take pieces off along the way, and then my best sell was 388, just sort of edging towards that $4 mark. Didn't quite get there. So that was for my average sell was 373, somewhere around there, and that was 22% gain. And then what it did the next day, it would just continue to rip upwards, which was interesting. Roland Wolf did talk about this trade, and he said if it does bounce on this day, because it's got sector momentum, often these first green day bounces can continue into the next day, but I'm not familiar with that yet, so that's just something for me to be aware of in the future. But yeah, I just like to trade it on this day and then get out. So that was IRBT first green day bounce. And then the other trade I took, which was really nice, was a sympathy play. So we had a big runner, ATMC, really bad volume, I think. Yeah, wasn't good volume. And it just ripped, basically, all these sort of jolty moves. But this move was like up over, I don't know, about 800%, something like that. So I am looking for something very similar that can move in a similar way. And I found this stock. I was just looking on my scanner. Similar stock, so depends. It doesn't always have to be the same industry, but with this one, I wanted something in the same industry because it was quite niche. Same price range, so this one started from, around about the $13 mark. This stock was also priced around there, coming from $10. The floats were very similar, and then also could see that pre-market it had this spike from around $10 up to like $30, so big move there. Not very liquid, but during pre-market could see that it kind of wanted to hover around this area, so I felt like this could run, given that it was a very similar stock and it had this move here already and it was forming a nice base. So I did take a little bit pre-market around 10.20, and this was a difficult one because where do you risk off? I can't risk off $8 here, the low, because it's just too wide a risk. So I just took a piece, I took a very tight risk, and then I cut, basically. It's a difficult one because it's a liquid, and yeah, the risk is large, so it's a tricky one. So I waited till market open, and then could see it was actually having these halts upwards. So I was just watching it, and I thought, I really think this is going to go. My problem is, where do I get in? Where do I risk? So the spread wasn't great either, but it was enough where I could get in, and I just have to set myself a tight risk. It wasn't a great risk area, but it's all I could go with, really. So I got in, I was looking at these candles here, got in at 12.58, so around about there, and I'm literally risking off the low of these like 3 candles. Not ideal. So yeah, risking off around 12.09, something like that. And yeah, it just had this lovely, it was just halting the whole way upwards, basically, and I was just selling chunks along the way. And my best sell was 20, I hate looking at this now because it went up so much, but 20.35. In hindsight, yeah, I should definitely have let this run a bit more. And my average sell was like 17 something, so did take 40% gain on this, which is really nice. But then just have to look at where it went to afterwards. It went up like over 1,000%, which is unbelievable. Let me just refresh that a little bit. Yeah, can see like after hours as well, it just ripped. But 40% is still amazing to me, but I need to get a bit more experience with these and the potential that they could have. I mean, I don't think anyone could predict that this would go up 1,000%, no way, but could have pushed for a bit more, I guess. But yeah, that was a sympathy play on, the stock was AFJK for that one. So yeah, a couple of the nice trades that I took this week. So although I am still learning and I've got a long way to go, I do feel that I've got real edge in certain setups, and I'm restless to take my trading to the next level in terms of starting to push some more size, but I'm finding it quite difficult to do that still. One useful thing of this week was I got to watch one of the more experienced traders in the Roll 'N' Wolf community do a live trading stream where we could watch him trade live. And that was handy because he actually took a couple of losses on that trade, and just seeing how it wasn't a big deal. It's the reality of trading. Traders are wrong all the time, and it can be quite isolating trading on your own, but just kind of seeing the reality and somebody normalise taking losses was just another good reminder that it's part of the process. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you next Sunday.